Tips for effective uses of the whiteboard. As a teacher of EFL, your board is a memory tool for things you want your students to remember. It is also a helpful tool to keep you on track with the lesson. What should your board look like? In what way can you organize it? How can you get the best use of it? In this video, we are going to give you some tips to consider when using the board or while writing on it. 1. Stand right. While writing on the board, stand sideways without hiding what you are writing and keep eye contact with your students. 2. Prepare your text. Prepare beforehand what you are going to write on the board. You can imagine an A4 paper as your board and write on it your text in advance, and then copy this prepared text to the classroom board. Be focused and write as quickly as you can. 3. Keep it neat. Try your best to make your writing look neat and clear. You can walk to the back of the classroom and check what your board looks like. Your writing should be big and straight enough. If you think something is not clear enough, do rub it out and write it again. 4. Keep students' attention. While writing, keep your students' attention by reading the keywords and phrases aloud. You can also pause for a while and ask a student to read what you have written. 5. Give clear instructions. Tell students exactly what you want them to copy and at which time you want them to finish copying. After you finish, stand back and let them complete the copying. When time is finished, say, "Stop copying." You can continue copying when I finish explaining. 6. Keep a board as it is. Teachers must think ahead whether or not they have to divide the board into parts according to a lesson plan. If it is not necessary, keep the board as it is, but they ought to know how to display items on it neatly so that students can understand whatever written on it to avoid confusion. 7. Organize or divide a board. Dividing a whiteboard or decorating a frame of the whiteboard with stars, flowers, or something necessary for the class needs. It is great, but it is not on surface of the board. Putting something colorful on the surface of the board becomes messy and it makes students complicated when looking at the board or copying something from the board. So teachers must be aware of what and where to decorate on the whiteboard. 8. Divide a board into 2 parts. It is not an obligation that teachers have to divide a board into 2 parts every teaching time. It depends on the lesson requirement. If they want to show their students clarity of the board uses to avoid complexity for the ones who are late for the classroom, they can do so. 9. Divide the board into 3 sections, the left one for key vocabulary and phrases, the right one for questions or home assignments, and the center for main structures or language focus. Try to leave a space under each section for temporary items that you can rub out as you go along the lesson. 10. Teachers can divide a whiteboard into 4 sections, a top part, a middle part, a bottom part and a left part or a right part. What to be displayed in each section depends on the teachers themselves. They all have to know that a main part of the whiteboard is the middle one. It should be big enough for the teachers to write something during their instruction. Other 3 sections are not very important. They are extra parts to keep any information students need to use when they practice. 11. Make important features noticeable. Important features are the points which you want your students to distinguish and remember, such as auxiliary verbs, irregular endings, pronouns, contracted forms, etc. You can do so by underlining them, using different colored pens/chalk, circling them or even making them italic. 12. Use tables for prompting. Build these tables with students, then use them for controlled practice that is aimed at achieving accuracy, such as substitution and transformation drills. 13. Use diagrams, mind/word maps, and timelines. You can use these aids on the board to clarify time, space, and quantity, or to increase the stock of vocabulary. 14. Stick items on the board. You can use the surface of the board to display all sorts of items such as posters, flashcards, pictures, etc., and have students come out to the board for oral work pointing to or talking about these items.